Hi everyone, it's Nicole and I'm here to work on So Many Books, So Little Time. It's a diamond painting. It is a 56 by 109 centimeters and it has 53 colors. And today my goal is going to be to finish that section. That would be awesome. So we'll start with P. I think that's how we finished last time. So we'll start with that again. Oh, look at that. Color 11. And that's Mason's number for hockey. So lucky number. What a weekend. Like after Christmas, it's this basically the season of, it's hockey, 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 hockey all the time. So this past weekend, today is Monday, January 29th, I think today is. I'm not sure. I think so. And yes, 29th. And this weekend, they had a tournament all weekend. It started Friday morning at 11. And then they play 3 games, and that decides if they're gonna qualify for the semifinals. So the first game, they played really well. They won 3-0. The second game, I don't think they're very good at morning games. So the game was in the morning and they won, but oof. Oh no, they tied the game 3-3. And the last time we played that team, we won them 9-1. So it was, a tie is better than a loss, but a tie makes it so that you're not sure if you're going to make it to the semifinals. It depends on how all the other teams are going to do. So then their last game, the qualifying game, they came out, not wanting to lose because it was like, okay, we're not going to make the semifinals if we don't win this one. So they won 6-0. So then they made it to the semifinals. It was a morning game, rough game. Oh, they won 3-2. The other team, oh my goodness, they came wanting to win, right? Because we met them, the same team, in the semifinals in December. And we beat them, I think it was 2-1. And then, so they came wanting to win, right? And, man, our goalie kept us in. And then, what was it? Then they went to the finals. And it was the exact same team that they went to the finals with in December. And they beat us 5-3. I mean, it was 4-3. Our team only started playing in the third period. They did 3 goals in the third period, almost tied it up. So we said, this time you have to start playing like first puck drop, right? Like you can't wait till the third. By then it's almost too late, So they had beat us 5-3 in the finals. That doesn't feel like a finals game. Do you know what I mean? It was 4-3, and then we were trying to tie it up, so then we pulled our goalie, and then they scored on an empty net, so 5-3. So this game, my goodness, they came out it was still a rough game. They're really close teams, like as far as talent, you know what I mean? They're really close. So it was like we did the first goal, then they did a goal. We did the second goal, then they did a goal. So it finished like the third period 2-2. So again, then you go into overtime, and they decided it was going to be a 3-on-3. And both teams, the kids were, I mean, this was their 5th game all weekend, right? So they are pooped. But the thing that the other team did that we didn't do is they shortened their bench. And what that means is their top players, they have 2 top players, and they kept one on the ice at all time. So their top players were done, like they were exhausted. Our bench didn't do that. They just rolled the lines the whole time, so that when it came at the end, you know, our top players, they weren't, I mean, they were tired, don't get me wrong. Both teams were exhausted. You could see it in the third period. They had no gas left, right? But they had a little bit more than the other team. And we scored, I don't know, maybe 3 minutes, almost 3 minutes in to that overtime period. So they won the banner. Oh my goodness, this is the fourth time that Mason's team, you know, I mean, different teams, but that he's been on a team that they've won the banner. So it's still exciting. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not like the first time. Nothing will ever be like that first time, but it was still like they deserved that win so much. So now we're going to do 28, which is DMC 797. And by the way, the P was DMC 334. So we're doing Y now. There's quite a bit of Y, so that's going to keep me busy for a little bit. We'll finish this one down here first. This is the one that it was empty. So after I finished the last video, and it was really easy because not all containers have extras. So what I did was I just went and, you know, took the bags out and then looked at the number of DMC on the bag, then looked at the jar, and if it was full, I'm like, oh, I don't need to refill that one. Or if it was empty, then I refilled it. So I think it took me less than, I don't know, not even 5 minutes. There was only a few colors, so I'm glad I did that, because the ones that were low, they are now full and I don't have to worry about running out. So there's still quite a few bags. I'm not going to say there's hardly any bags. There's still quite a few bags, but of course, nothing like when you first started diamond painting. And I love the way that I have my organizing done, because to do, you know, to prep a new one is not going to be hard, because I don't have to change this number ever. As long as it's under 60, all I need to do is dump all the ones that are in here out. You know, I don't know if I want to keep them. I used to keep all the extra diamonds. I don't know if I'm going to do that. I do have baskets upstairs, you know, that has little baggies with the numbers, and I have some for square, I have some for rounds, but I'm not sure if I'm going to keep that or not. We'll see. I mean, it shouldn't take me too long. It takes a little longer if you have to make new bags, you know. I need to take a drink of coffee. Coffee's so good. I was going to go right upstairs and start my day, right? Because I'm a scrapbooker. I'm on Patreon for scrapbooking. I'm on YouTube for scrapbooking. So I, you know, need to get stuff done. But I was like, oh, my husband went into work today and he's going to work from home tomorrow, because Mason, it's not just a practice tomorrow, it's a game. So I'm like, well, if you can work from home, then it's one vehicle going in, right? I'm not going as much to practices anymore because, you know, gas is not cheap. So 2 cars going in doesn't make sense. But my husband has to go into work now 3 times a week. So if he goes in today, he goes in on Wednesday, and he goes in on Thursday because Mason has a practice, then it's only 3 times. You know, and today he went in with the truck because the truck was out of gas, because we had to go out of town for 2 of the games this weekend. Not that far. For us, it's not that much further than going into Moncton. Well, it's an extra 10 minutes. So it's a little further, but it's not that bad. It's just if your game is at 9:15, then you have to be there at 8:15. That means like we let him sleep as long as we could. And then we woke him up, fed him breakfast, and then we were on our way kind of thing. But he had a good tournament. Probably his best game was the first game. He played really well. He didn't score this tournament. It's harder than it sounds being a defense. I found this tournament, they weren't passing to the defense. He got a few good shots like that they did pass back. And I was like, how did that not go in? It was really close, but he played a good defensive game. All our players played really well. I think the goals against, we got 0 the first game, 3 the second game, 0 the third game, 2 the fourth game, so that's 5, and 2 the last game, so that's 7 goals against the whole tournament. That is huge, right? 7 goals against the whole game, like the whole tournament. That's pretty awesome. The defense did really well. The goalies did well. Like the forwards did well. What was the goals for? The first one was 3. The second one was 3, so that's 6. The third one we had 6, so that's 12. Then 3 more, that's 15, and 3 more. So we had 18 goals for, 18, and 7 goals against. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. So it was, I have to tell you though, oof, it is hard on the nerves. Like Saturday night, I was listening. I always listen to an audiobook before I go to bed. And I'm listening to Fourth Wing right now, which I've read the book before, but I want to read Iron Flame in February. So I just want a refresher. So on Scribd, or I guess now they're called Everand. Anyway, I have the book there. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to listen to it again. And it's really intense because, you know, especially at the beginning, they're on the side of the wall and they could, you know, fall off. If they fall off, they fall to their death. And, you know, I had to stop the audiobook. I got so anxious. I'm like, what the heck? Like, you know, when you feel it in your chest, I was like, this is really not good. So then I just put like a YouTube video that someone was cooking. And then I just flipped my iPad over so that I wouldn't, you know, the light wouldn't keep me awake. And then I went to sleep that way. I can't go to sleep with nothing. I need something. So I think that's because my brain is always going. I'm always thinking, okay, what do I need to do next? I'm still drinking my coffee. What do I need to do next? What's next? What's next, right? So my brain is constantly always thinking, right? But it was stressful. Stressful. You just want them, and especially that team, like I said, it's always close. They never beat us, like, except that time it was 5-3 with an open, an empty net goal. Most games, it's like a tie or they beat us by 1 goal. So the fact that they beat them in the finals is huge. Of course they weren't happy. Nobody, and I always feel bad. You want your team to win, and then when they do, then you're like, oh, Piche, because then you see the other kids, But then you're also happy that it's not your kids that have the head low like that, I find, and this is just me, but they've taken the competitiveness out of a lot of stuff. Like, even school, like, I don't know about you, but in school, like, what kept me from doing really, really well and not poorly is because you always compared, right? Like, oh, I made 90. Well, I made 92, so it was like a competition. So you always worked harder to get that better mark or whatever. And they took that out of schools because now it's like S for satisfactory. And, so there's no competition. And then even, when they first start hockey, everybody gets a medal and it's like, they've taken that competition out of stuff. To me, if you're going to have adults that are going to strive to do better and all this stuff, you need to instill that in them, like, at a young age. But again, that's my opinion, but we're a very competitive family. So that's probably why I feel that way. Like, even when we just play games, like, if we play games, it's like, when our kids were little, or even with Mason, it's like, we're not just going to let you win. Like, so when you beat us, you beat us for real. Like, it's not, because we let you win. When you beat us, it's because you beat us for real. So when Mason wins at whatever, Yahtzee, he knows, he's like, oh man. And he got better and better and better at those games because he tried harder. Oh, we're really competitive and all. I wonder why, but all my kids are really, well, all except Josh. I don't know what happened to Josh. He's not competitive at all. I don't get it. Maybe because he was the baby, so maybe he was babied a little bit more. I don't know. But the other two are really competitive. Like, really competitive. And both of them made it, really high in both companies that they're in. Jessica is the second in command, if you will, and Kate, when she was her last job, she was the top dog, like in this area. So that coffee's good. It's getting cold though. I'm not one that loves cold coffee. Although, if it's cold coffee, like iced coffee, I didn't think I liked iced coffee, but I do. I went to Katie's once, and she's like, I don't have coffee, but I have cold, iced coffee. I said, oh, I don't know if I like that. And she said, well, let me make you one. I think you'll like it. And it was delicious. Delicious. So, it was really good. So little Lexi came to 2 games. We're going to make her a hockey fan. So Katie came to support Mason, So my sister-in-law, which usually comes when it's like Dave's sister, she usually comes when it's tournaments, but she just had a surgery, so she wasn't, feeling up to it. So what I do for the team is I film every game. Is it perfect? No. There's a few times I get so that I forget to turn the camera or whatever, like not too many times, but you know, enough times. Or somebody goes and stands up in front of me, which Jessica did, my daughter, in the last shot of the semifinals. Like they could have scored or goalie got it, but it was a good save, and I missed it because she stood up. I'm like, I can't see, I can't see, I can't see. It was too late. I'm like, did they score? I have no idea. Oh, it was a semifinals, you know. Some of the semifinals we've had, it's like 9-1. That doesn't feel like a semifinals. A semifinals, you know, it's like, oh, that, yeah, I was going to say that was a Y, and it's like, duh, you've been doing Ys this whole time. And the last one, I hesitated. So, yeah, the last two semifinals were true semifinals. So this was their third tournament, and it was their third finals. Like they made it to the finals, all three tournaments, which is pretty stinking awesome. So they're doing good. Okay, number 4 is tub 29. Oof, it is not nice outside. I don't think Dave thought it was not going to be that, it was going to be that yucky. So DMC is 798. I don't think he would have went in. It's not worth it, right? Not worth it. He did go in with the truck, so at least he has a 4x4 to come home, so that's good. He didn't go in with the car because the car is not good in snow. It's a little sports car, so it is not good in snow at all. There we go. There we go. Yay. I think I am going to get this whole section done today. I started a little late again. I didn't sleep very well last night. It must be because of the, I don't know, the anxiety of the whole weekend. And just being in rinks all weekend too. Like my throat last night was killing me. That's from like, go, 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 you got this, good job. Like my throat was killing me. And you know, yay! Oh my gosh. It was fun. It was fun. And they go again in 2 weeks because we're what, January 29th? 3 weekends, in 3 weekends. So not this weekend, not the weekend after, but the weekend after that, we go again. Oh, this time we go away. So it's like hotel costs and all that jazz. So should be another fun weekend. And then after that, it's going to be 6 weeks. So it's going to be April. That'll be their last hurrah. That'll be the last hurrah. Like when their last game is, that'll be the last game with that team. Because right now there's 2014 and 2013. And next year it'll be the 2012, 2013 together. Like 1 year they're playing with a year older. And then the year after, then they play with a year younger. Like they're the older kids kind of thing. So they're doing good. Okay, 4. Whew, I have my big sweater on. And now I was freezing when I woke up. Now I'm warm. So I think I finished a couple books. I finished the last 2 books of the Shatter Me series. So I'm done the whole series now. I read Imagine Me and Believe Me. I love that series. It's young adult, but it was good. You're invested in the characters. So I'm glad I finished it. Man, I didn't realize that she finished that series that long ago. I think it was in 2020 or something like that. I'm like, oh my goodness. Because a lot of times what I'll do is I'll wait till the series is finished before I'll, read a series. And this one was supposed to be a trilogy, so I finished it. And then she kept it going because of popularity, right? And I'm like, well, I'm going to wait till it's done. But it's been done for like almost 4 years. I find it hard to get back to a series too, so it's usually why I'll read like 1, 2, 3. I'll try to read books in between, but I usually try to read them, at least in the same year, so then I don't forget. That's why I don't like that I read Fourth Wing that early. But see, the other thing too, I thought it was going to be a duology. It was supposed to be a duology, and the second one was going to be printed or, like released in November or something like that. So I'm like, okay, well, because I read it like in September. Well, I'll come to find out now it's going to be a 5-book series. I'm like, well, I read the first one now. Might as well read the second one. I'll just make sure to have the audiobook, and I'll listen to like book 2 just before I read book 3. Oh. So I read the Shatter Me series. I finished that, and now I'm reading The Fragile Threads of Power, which is V.E. Schwab. I'm about, I don't know, maybe 30% in, like maybe 200 and something. I'm reading it on the Libby app, so I know it says like I'm 29 or 30% in or something like that. And it's due on February 1st. Like they're going to take it back on February 1st. So I'm like, okay, so today I have to read like a good 20 or 30% because I still have, like 70% to read, and I have like 3 days to do it. So I'm going to get done what I need to get done, and then I'm not going to watch any YouTube videos or anything like that. I'm just going to read, for maybe 2 or 3 hours and try to read as many as I can. Today, tomorrow, and Wednesday. And Thursday I have till like 10:30 at night. So I have all day Thursday too. But I don't like to leave it. Like I've done it before where it's like, I'm almost done and they zoop, take it away, and then I have to find another way to finish the book. Have to find another way to finish the book. That happened to me once, and now I'm like, okay, now I have to make sure to finish it before they take it away. I have another book on the Libby app. I just got it like 2 days ago. It's The Unmaking of June something or other by Adrienne Young. I heard it was really good. That's only a 300-page book, so I'm going to read it in February. As soon as I'm done this book, I'll read it. Because again, it's on Libby, so I need to make sure to finish it before I don't get it. Plus, I try to always return it before the end. But I mean, this book was a 650-page book, and I had 2 or 3 other books on Libby, and I like the Winners, which was 670 pages. That I finished it 3 days before. So I returned it. There was a person waiting, so they got it early. And then I had another book, so I finished those two first. So now I got to finish that one. Now what I do is when I put for a hold, I make sure that the holds are very like far apart. Like they're not like, oh, it's all 4 weeks wait, you know? Like it's like some of them is 20 weeks and some of them is, that way I get to read my books too on my bookshelf because I need to finish those too. I want to reorganize all my bookshelves and put books that are all read, that I've read all on together on a bookshelf. And then put all the books that, well, all the books that I want to read this year are all on a bookshelf. I did put those on a bookshelf. So then when I look at books that I want to read this, you know, this month or next month, I pull from that bookshelf. So I at least did that, but I would love to reorganize. And this year I've made it my mission to read a lot of big books. I did last year too. I did, because I think my average last year was 380, which that's, you know, more than your average book, I think. I think a lot of them, romance anyway, they're like 330. And I did read a lot of romance, but I did read a lot of fantasy. And I think that's what bumped it up. So, like already this year I'm on my second book that's over 600 pages. And I'm enjoying the Fragile Threads of Power. What I ended up doing too is I got the audiobook. So if I'm, you know, if I, this afternoon or whatever, I go to clean my scrap room because it needs a good cleaning, or if I do any kind of house cleaning, I can just pop my earphones in and then I feel like I'm getting two things done, right? Where I'm so close to the date. I read a lot with my eyes. Pretty much everything I've read up to now, which is, I think I'm close to 300, well, 30%. So however that is, 200 and some pages. And I plan to read more with my eyes, but if I want to clean for an hour, then I feel like I can still get some of that done too. Okay, so let's now do number 9. Number 9 is DMC 796, which is another blue. I just wanted to get done with all the blues. Oh yeah, I'm going to get this done because I think I've only been doing this for half an hour right now. So I'm going to get this done. Oh, this is a nice dark blue. I mean, it's just so minute, the different, right? The difference is just so minute, but it makes such a difference on the diamond painting. I did get some puzzles too. I wanted Dave and I to do puzzles this winter. We haven't had a chance yet. I want to do, I think I got an 18,000 piece puzzle. But go. There. But I definitely, I feel pretty good. We're what, the 4th week of January, and I haven't missed a week yet. I'm pretty sure I haven't missed a week yet. This will be the 4th. So if I can, and I finished an entire section, right? And I think I was up there when the year started. I'm pretty sure I was up here, so. And we're gonna finish another section today, so that's good. We'll see, we might rip this off and do a little bit because I really want, oh, there's one more 9. I really want to do like an hour every time because that's the only way I'm going to get this done. I'm not going to get this done doing half hours. Okay, so now I want to do, what is that? That's 3 triangles pointing down. So that's tub 32 or jar 32, DMC 820. I have to go, oh my gosh. Are you kidding me right now? These ones are 3 dots and these ones are 3 triangles. I'm glad I looked closer because there's no way I would have noticed that if I didn't, because there's 2 things with 3. Oh, I wish they wouldn't have done that. Like, yes, they're different colors and everything, but I mean, you don't have your face right up against it. Okay, I think I did all those. Now it's 3 dots, which is tub 33. We'll get those done. And DMC 823. So we'll get that in there. Also, we're watching House of Dragons. And I think tonight we'll be watching episode 8. So we have 3 left, 8, 9, 10. They are so long. They're over an hour each. So it takes, like, it's not like a 45-minute, you know, without commercials. Because, you know, an hour show usually with commercials is going to be, let me get this. So we'll get that. It's 413. So an hour and 10 minutes, that's like an hour and a half show, right? If you were watching it on TV. So you can't watch it, you know, 2 or 3 or 4 a night there. So we got a couple more. And again, we're watching that on Crave. And my subscription ends in April. So we're trying to get it all watched up. And then after that, we're going to watch the few episodes we need. We should do that first on Paramount Plus because the next subscription is like on the 5th. And I want to cancel it for a few months so that, you know, I'm waiting for the last season of Yellowstone to come on and all that. So I think we only have a few episodes left to watch of the Lawmen of whatever it's called, Lawmen of something. It's a spin-off Yellowstone, or it's based in the same world, or we don't like it as much, but we don't mind it. Like, it's okay. So we probably have like 4 or 5 episodes to watch. So we should do that tonight or tomorrow night or whatever. Watch a few. And then I can cancel my subscription. There. Oh, there's one up there. Let's do that one before I completely miss it. So I'm glad the normal TV shows are back on. So last week, well, some of them, we watched Chicago Fire and Chicago MD. So we didn't watch the ones that were aired this week. I think they were aired last week. So we watched those. So we're watching maybe a couple of hours of TV every night. We should really cut it down to like 1 hour because we have so much to do. But man, we're exhausted. We're exhausted. So it's like, okay, well, we need a break. We need a break at the end of the day. Like we can't work all day and then all night, you know? So we need some downtime. I'm hoping this weekend there's not a lot of hockey, which I don't think there is. Because there's a bunch of stuff we need to do. So I want to get that done. Because to get some of that stuff, like we want to rearrange our garage and we want to rearrange our basement. Like there's a bunch of stuff in the basement we want to get rid of. We want to rearrange it. I would love to finish the basement at some point. And that definitely will have to do it like one room at a time, right? I wish now that at the time, we just would have gotten the basement done at the same time, you know, or ask them, you know, how much more is this going to cost to just do the rough stuff, you know, like put the walls and put the sheetrock up, like divide the rooms kind of thing. Like how much is that going to be? And then maybe get that done, right? Because now it would be a matter of, you know, doing the drywall and that kind of stuff. Like in painting, it wouldn't be so bad. Although mudding is not fun, but... Or maybe even do the walls and not the floors. So now we only have to do the floors, you know? At the time, you don't think about that. You just think, oh, you know, just do the... We did, you know, the main floor and then my scrap room. My scrap room was completely done. That up there, I wish I would have made them put a door, 100%. I should have. It's not bad if Dave goes to work and I go and film. It's not as bad now that there's nobody else living here, you know, and Dave goes to work 3 times a week because then I can, it's easier to film. But when we had other people living here, you know, like kids, it was hard. I had to tell them, you know, oh, you need to be quiet. I gotta film. Okay, I'm not gonna rip that off until I get this done, but I think we're gonna have time. So I might need this color again, but I wanna finish that section before I start another one. So let's do XXX, which is container 43, DMC 938. Ooh, that's a nice brown. We're working on that book now. We're working on that book. I can't wait to work on all the books, like going down. And it's kind of fitting because as I'm doing this, I'm talking a lot about the books that I'm reading too. So it's kind of fun. If you do diamond painting, like how do you frame these, you know, once they're done? There's no way I want to get a frame for this. Like I just do not want to spend $300 on a frame. Like no way, no how. But I'd like it to be covered so that dust doesn't go on it, right? So I don't know. I'll have to do a little bit of research, I think, to make sure that I, you know, get something so that it's safe, but it doesn't cost an arm and a leg. Can you imagine going to Michael's and asking for a frame that's 22 that will fit a 22 by 43. That'd be like $500. Even if they get, you know, like the 50% off, it's still $250. It's like, no, not gonna happen. And I see people online, like, you know, some diamond painters that I used to watch. I don't watch some anymore. I don't know why. I don't have time. That's why. I don't have time. Oh, I don't have time. Because the time that I would watch is when I'm, you know, cleaning and stuff like that. And I want to make sure that I listen to audiobooks. So now we're going to do the special AB, which is DMC 141. They're super shiny. They're not my favorite ones to put on, but because I find a lot of times they'll take the wax right out of the pen. But when there's only a little bit like this, it's not a big deal. Yay. We finished that section in 45 minutes, so we have about 15 minutes. So let's do it. Yay, I can't believe it. In just a few videos, we've opened another section. So I think we're gonna do the orange. Let's get that done. That's probably the 15 minutes, and then we'll be done for today. I just want to do like this section right here. Ooh, that's going to be so colorful. Yay. The colorful part of the diamond painting is starting. I mean, the dinosaur was too. It's so fun too, because I was just thinking, like, this is a little dragon. Well, the House of Dragon and Game of Thrones, like, it was dragons, right? And Fourth Wing, it's about dragons. So it's like I'm living the dragon life right now, and I'm loving it. Oh, when they, you know, something happened, I was like, no, I don't want to spoil it, but it was so good. I love Game of Thrones. It must be at least 7 years since I wanted to, you know, watch that. It wasn't done when I wanted to watch it, right? Like, they were still filming and just never did. So, and this was the perfect time. I think it was the perfect timing because all our regular shows weren't on because of the strikes. So we had nothing to watch. So it was perfect. We were able to watch it like back to back to back to back. And I was able to watch all of the seasons of Friends, which I've been wanting to do since Friends ended in 2004. So 20 years ago. I've been wanting to do that ever since. And you know what's funny is I remember the earlier episodes better than the later episodes, because I think I've rewatched them, the earlier episodes. You would think that the later episodes would be fresher in my mind because it was less time since I've seen it, but nope. I must have at some point started to rewatch it again, or if it was on TV, I would watch the reruns or whatever. It's probably my favorite show of all time, was Friends. I don't think there's been another show ever made after that I loved as much. I remember my kids, I mean, my middle daughter was born in 93 and my son was born in 1999. So I remember, because I had babies, you know what I mean? And I'd be like, okay, we gotta make sure that bedtime is before Friends comes on. Because back then, taping was a big deal. Like, you had to film on VHS tapes, and sometimes the stupid thing wouldn't work. And like, it's not like now, right? Where you can go back and watch on demand, or you can find it somewhere else. You know what I mean? Like, now it's so much. Back then, you tried to watch stuff live. We almost never watch anything like when it airs. Almost never, because we don't like commercials. So we always, you know, either, let's say if it starts at 9, then we'll start watching it like at 9:30. And then you either catch up just at the very end or you never do. So you're still able to fast forward through those commercials, which is good. So now when people say, oh, that commercial, I'm like, I have no idea. I don't watch commercials. They're wasted on me. Commercials are wasted on me. So that is going to be a big section if I can get this done. I'll probably go till I finish this, just so next time I won't have to take this color out again. I'll have to remember there's some over there too that I want to probably get done. Although, yeah, it should be okay. I was going to say, although if you put some in the middle of, then that release sheet won't stick very well, but it's at the very top, so it should be good. That was another reason why I wanted to do like here, so that it stuck really well, because there's no diamonds next to it. This one has a little burr on the side, just like that. There we go. That little tick, so satisfying. So satisfying to get those in there. So what else have we been doing? Apart from, oh, I finished the hats for the boys. I got them all done. And then the day before the tournament, Mason says, oh, I'm so happy I'll be able, you know, that Jacques gonna have a hat, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, I didn't get the coach's one done, buddy, because it was like, it was hard to figure out how to get those done. Because the first time I did hats, I have a heat press, but the part for the hat did not work well at all. Like, not even a little bit. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to figure out some other way. So then I just used like a regular iron. So that, it took me forever. Because then the edges were coming up. And that's just because the way the patch is done. Because the patches, the glue doesn't go right to the very end. So then I had bought some shoe glue. And then you had to hold down the sides 3 minutes each. Well, 20 hats times 4 corners. So that's 20 times 4, 80 times 3 minutes. Because I tried to do 2 at once and it just wasn't working. So then that night, Dave, he's like, I'll help you. So then I would get the glue on and then give it to him. And he would be the holder. So he started holding the, you know, the patches down so they would glue down. And then I was able to get the coaches done. I had pressed it, the sublimation on the patch, thankfully. So that was done. That part was done. So I had done that. So then I got that done. I got that done. So the next morning, I went, and he's so funny. I mean, he's going to be 11. And he was like, well, Mammy, usually like we watch stuff together, because he calls them the salmon people. They're Eric and Ariel, Simply Alaska. And we started watching them when we were on our trip out west. Well, I had been watching them for longer than that. But he started he came in the room, or in my, in the camper room. He's like, what are you watching? And I said, oh, their names are Eric and Ariel. And I'm like, oh, it's like the Little Mermaid and, and Prince Eric. And so anyway, he started watching, and he just loves watching them, like salmon fishing and even getting their chicken coop. So, done. So he's like, oh, usually we watch, something. And I'm like, okay, well, no, I'll go and we'll watch that. And, it calms especially before a tournament like that, just calms his nerves. So anyway, we watched that. And then he fell asleep right away. As soon as I said, oh, okay, that's enough. He fell asleep. So then I got up and I went upstairs and I got all that done. When I told him, he was like, oh, that's okay, Mammy. It would have been fun for him to have that, but that's okay. The boys will be happy. So I was like, oh. So I got up and I got them ready. So the next morning when he got up, I showed him, he goes, oh, you got them done. Oh, I'm so happy. So when they got there, they were wearing their hats, and they walked in with a box full of hats for the boys. Oh, I guess they were so happy. I went to park the truck and everything. And when I came in, one of the moms, she goes, what did you do? And I'm like, what do you mean? I had no idea. She goes, the hats for the boys. And I'm like, oh, do they like them? She goes, oh my gosh, do they like them? She said they came out running. Look what we got. And the hats, so they were super happy when Mom sent a picture. And I don't know if the kid fell asleep or was watching TV with his hat on after they won the tournament. But it looked so sharp, like when they would go out and do their warm up before the game, they all wore and it's like white hats with a black patch. So they really stand out, right? And the kids were freaking out. They love them. So it made me happy. Made Mason happy. He's the one, it was his idea. It was during a tournament or whatever, and Mason's like, Mammy, I wish you could make hats you could make a hat for Coach, because he keeps saying play Hawks hockey. So it would be nice for him to have a hat that says that. And so that's what I put on the patch. And then I was like, oh, I don't know, if they put their hats down, how are they going to know which one is which? So I was trying to figure out, I was thinking of putting their name and all that. And then I was like, no, because a name like, our last name, Jones, it's fine. It's like, 5 letters. So it's not a big deal. It'll show up. But we have kids on our team that has long last names. So then their name would be like super small. And then it had like a hockey stick and a puck on the design. So I'm like, oh, I'll put their number on their hockey stick. And the kids, I think that's the part they love the most, is that it had their number on it. So I was hoping to put their name, because then even, next year, even if they don't get that number, then their hat is relevant, But it's okay. Their jersey number for this year is good. Oh, that's good. So I got it done just in time. I had the design pretty much done, way before, because I started the design, I think in December. And I was like, okay, how am I gonna get that, you know, done. And I was stuck on that. I was stuck on that. And then I was watching a bunch of videos because I've never done, you know, hats before. And people were saying that sublimating directly, even on a polyester hat, it doesn't turn out unless you have a professional heat press, which I don't. So I was like, I'm just going to end up wasting, you know, all that money. This is probably the item that I wasted the least. I wasted one hat. And I'm pretty sure I could maybe put a patch over. No, I wasted it because I got grease stain on it. So that's why I practiced the patch on that one. Because it was like, well, it's wrecked anyway. I mean, I can try and get the grease stains out, but I don't think I'll be able to. So I got that done. I think we've been going for an hour now, but I think I want to finish this. So it might be an hour and 10 minutes or whatever, but that's okay. See, that's what I find hard with the 3. I'm always off. And then I spend a few seconds straighten them out anyway. A lot of times I like to do the checkers method, you know, like this. But I find because I'm filming and I can't be right over the top, I find this kind of hard too, to get the drill right inside the squares. I think if I could bring this up closer to me, it'd be an easier thing to do. So the next thing I want to do is I'd love to find some, you know, affordable t-shirts and get, oh, my little finger's hurting just from pushing down on this. Little t-shirts for them. So their first tournament, I did some banners. I did a little bag to put their socks in and that kind of stuff. And then we did some hockey wax. So hockey stick wax. Oh, and a towel, a little towel. Maybe I should have just done one thing per tournament. But anyway, I did that. And then this time it was hockey hats. Dave goes, because our AAA team here, they're called the Flyers, the under 18. And he's like, these kids have more swag than the Flyers team. It's fun. And because I do the stuff by hand, you know, I can do it at a fraction of the cost, you know, if I were to buy them. Oh, and I made them ornaments at Christmas. I made them ornaments at Christmas to put on their tree. So little ornaments, those were cute. Okay. Okay. Oh, my finger's sticking. I feel like I can't bend my finger because it's sore. So maybe an hour of diamond painting is all I can do, because I'm putting my little pinky down so that it's kind of, oh, there's one upside down, kind of leverage to put this down, but it's not working very well because it's hurting my pinky. So I think I'll have 10 books read in January once I finish this book. I'm not going to start another one until I finish this big book because it's a pretty hefty one. So I need to get it done. And this book is the one that the first, I can't remember the names of the first ones, but it follows Cal and Delilah, and it's like the red London, the white London, the gray London, and they can move between the Londons, or only a few people can do that, or one person could do it. I can't remember. I think it was only Cal that could do it in the first few books. And so it's nice to be in a world again. Oh, I'm gonna have to do these because I don't want to take this out just for these, but those little 3 shouldn't stop the paper from sticking. And next time, I think we'll finish that and do the top. And then that way, if I can't finish the whole thing in one shot, then it'll have the bottom at least so that it can stick. Oh, my fridge is making a ton of noise, which reminds me, I need to, it'd be nice to be able to clean my fridge today. I don't know if I'll have time. I have a few videos to do. I'll have to decide probably, am I cleaning my fridge or am I cleaning my scrap room? I'll have to decide between the two. I'll have to decide between the two. So, okay. Get this. Oh, and I have to, we got a sticker sheet, a couple sticker sheets ready for our big kind of release in April of physical stuff. We got some more stickers, so I gotta get that done. Have to get that done. I got some printed, but now I gotta make sure that they cut. Have to make sure that they cut. Or, you know, he'll have to rework them or whatever. So I got to do that this afternoon too. If I want to take everything out, because I cut it on my island here, I might as well cut a whole bunch, right? Like once I'm like, yeah, it works, then I'll have to print a whole bunch. And then I like to wait a little bit, like at least an hour before I start cutting, so they're nice and dry. And then I gotta cut a whole bunch. I still have a bunch of die cuts I gotta get done too. So, and usually Monday afternoon, that's my day to do that. Monday morning, I go upstairs and do a bunch of videos, and then in the afternoon, I spend time cutting stuff. Okay, so this is the last 2. So if you're new to my channel, don't forget to hit subscribe. If you're enjoying these videos, if you wouldn't mind giving me a thumbs up and leave me a comment down below. And I want to thank you so much for watching. Bye.